Yeah, this your boy T Nasty. I got another dope video for y'all. It's Jimmy High Roller. We're watching History in the Making is the title of the video. I want to say it's like who should be like the MVP. I think that's what this video is about. And you know me, as an old Dallas Maverick fan, I'll give you some history about the reason why I like Dallas, especially being a dude from Florida. I'm all over when it comes to my professional teams. Like I'm a Green Bay Packer. Like the Tennessee Volunteers for college football and basketball. Baseball, I was in Seattle Mariner when Griffey and damn, I'm telling my age. Just saying that with Dallas, like I was a big Chicago Bulls fan because of Scottie Pippen, right? Not even Jordan, Scottie Pippen. And when Scottie Pippen retired, I had to find somebody else, and it was between Kobe and Dirk. I love Kobe. Like I was a big Kobe fan, but Dirk stood out to me, and for whatever reason, I just stuck with Dirk. I just loved the way he played. And Dirk retired, but we got Luka. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus I like Mark Cuban and the way he runs his organization and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna stick with my Mavericks. I'm not gonna bounce back because it's been a while since I changed teams, so I might as well stick with them. Especially that we got Luka. Of course I'm staying, right? And Luka playing absolutely nonstop great basketball. Like even his worst games, he still got like 22, like 6 and 6 or some stupid shit like that. So if Luka don't win MVP, we ride, right? Because like you see, like the games he took off, bro. You seen how trash the Mavericks look without him, bro. They say, "Oh, he got the ball in his hand too much," because he has to. Hey, look at me looking burnt out and tired out there. You don't think he be tired? I'm about to be ready to give up the ball. But let's go ahead and rant to Jimmy High Roller. And if you like more reactions like this, because I think this is different for me. I don't think I ever reacted to a Jimmy video. I've seen plenty of them, but I don't think I ever reacted to them. So let's go on in. Without further ado, let's get to this reaction.
How do you know when someone is the most valuable player in the NBA?
Sorry
is
for
it
that long
strictly
intro,
based
y'all.
off of producing wins for their team? Do you factor in the historic significance of their performances game after game? Is it about being the most versatile and complete player? Or maybe it's a combination of all of these things. There's no exact science behind the elusive NBA MVP award and who we determine who it is. But what happens when a dozen different players are playing like the...
Now, Giannis is playing great basketball. Jason Tatum is playing great basketball. And they're winning. And Shea Alexander, whatever the rest of his name is. And Tyrese Halliburton, he's playing damn good basketball too. But I think their teams will be all right without him, you know what I'm saying? Luka, the Mavericks ain't winning without Luka.
The most valuable player, but only one of them can go home with the award.
What y'all think about
Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Surviving the run to perform lived up to a huge Forge Pass, $30 a day.
What y'all think about all these super teams though?
Prior to 1981,
they don't work out
the
like
regular
that.
season MVP award was voted on by the players. You would think this method of deciding the most valuable player in the NBA was better than what we have today, with members of the media voting for the MVP. This was far from the case. The voting results of some of these seasons
way too
was
much money
absolute mayhem. Back in 1972,
to keep
young
these superstars,
Abdul-Jabbar was by far the
and
best
the role
player
players
in the NBA.
ain't that great.
35 points, 17 rebounds,
now
and
the
6
Nets had a
assists
great
game
team,
while
but for
leading
whatever
the Bucks
reason, it
to
didn't work out.
63 wins. And as a result of playing like Jesus in a Bucks
Well,
jersey,
injuries.
Kareem walked away that season as the league MVP. But that didn't stop players from voting
Like Kyrie
like
got
they didn't know
injured,
what
Kevin
MVP
Durant got
stood
injured,
for. Because
Joe
that
Harris got
season,
injured.
there weren't just a few players who received first place MVP votes. There
James
were a
Harden got
handful of
injured.
players. There
But
were
that team was
12
stacked,
or
though.
13 or 14 or 15 or 16 or 17 or 18. But 19 players from 16 different teams who received first place MVP votes. But get this, there were only 17 teams in the NBA at the time, which means nearly every single team in the NBA had a player that received an MVP vote that season. And you're probably thinking, some of these players received votes from their teammates or maybe even voted for themselves, but no. The league prohibited players from voting for anyone on their team or voting for themselves. These voting results were completely authentic and completely unhinged. Now this season, there will more than likely not be 19 players who receive MVP votes. In fact, this season is so loaded with all-time elite talent that there will be multiple players who will have historic
And it's like fucking 5 people who averaging 30 points per game or something like that this year. That's crazy.
Great seasons this year, and they won't even get a mention for the MVP.
It was lucky to get like 2.
Giannis, Curry, Tatum, Morant, Embiid, Jokic, SGA, Booker, Mitchell, Durant. All playing at an MVP caliber.
We don't like Devin Booker
in what
over
is
here.
quickly becoming the greatest
I don't
statistical
care what y'all say about that
season
dude. That dude's
in
an asshole.
NBA history. If you combine
I
points,
said it.
rebounds, and assists, here are the combined statistical totals of every MVP in modern NBA history. Sometimes this total is relatively low, like Steve Nash's 2005 MVP, but sometimes it's off the charts, like Russell Westbrook's record-breaking total of 52.7 in 2017. But on average, since 1980, league MVPs had a total of 42 combined points, rebounds, and assists. So if a player can reach this number, 42, it's a solid indicator that they are on a path to becoming the league MVP, or at least a frontrunner. This season, SGA, Ja Morant, Tatum, Durant, Curry, Embiid, Giannis, and Luka
Yes,
are
sir.
all averaging totals of more than 42. This is unheard of, and it's going to leave a tough decision for the voters of the coveted award. There are currently 6 players across the league who are averaging over 31
6.
points
That's
a game.
stupid.
The last time this many players averaged at least 31 a game was, well, never. In fact, in the last 15 seasons combined, there have been 6 players who averaged at least 31 points per game. Let me say that again. There are as many players averaging at least 31 points per game this season as there were players who averaged over 31 points per game in the last 15 seasons combined. The
Damn.
NBA has never seen anything like this. And yet the numbers get even crazier. Offensive box plus minus is one of the
It is the beginning of the
statistics
season,
at
though, so-
quantifying a player's offensive impact. In fact, here are some of the greatest offensive seasons since the league began tracking the stat back in 1974. Here's Steve Nash's 2006 MVP season. Here's Derrick Rose's MVP season in 2011, right next to Giannis's first MVP season. But we're not even close to the best offensive seasons of all time. Here's Magic Johnson's MVP season in 1990. Here's Russell Westbrook's MVP season and Kevin Durant's MVP season. And just above that are the best of the best. James Harden in 2019, LeBron in 2009, Tracy McGrady in 2003.
Tracy not being in the top 75 is a crime. I can name at least 3 of them right now that Tracy should have beat out. And that's current players because they're still playing. You know what I'm saying? Let them in the top 100. Like, I love Dame, but I don't think he should be in the top 75 over Tracy McGrady. Who else we got? I can't remember. But I know it's 3. Anthony Davis. He played a pretty good long career. His numbers stood out to me. But like Tracy McGrady was that dog, man.
And
Damn.
Steph Curry's unanimous MVP season in 2016. Steph
Tracy
remains
was
the
a
only
fucking
player
dog,
to
bro.
ever surpass the +10 threshold in offensive box plus minus. And this season, he's doing it again. But even better, Steph is currently having, statistically, the best offensive season in modern NBA history. So where does all of this put Steph in the...
Sorry, this is my last time pausing too. The fact that Stephen Curry is not in, like, at least in the GOAT conversation, like top 5, is crazy to me. Ain't nobody shooting the ball better than him. And not only that, he can shoot the 3 at like this crazy ass art, bro. Like his 3-point shot is beyond what we ever seen, right? Not only is he doing that, but he can get to the rack easily. His handles and everything, bro. No, damn,
MVP
they shit on
race
him,
this
bro.
10th. The man is 10th on the MVP ladder. Now, one of the main reasons why Steph's offensive impact is at an all-time high is due to his mind-boggling efficiency. At this point, it's become universally agreed upon that Steph is the greatest shooter of all time.
All
But
time,
this
bro.
season, he's taken his shooting and scoring to another level. Because at the moment, Steph has the highest true shooting percentage of any player to ever average at
I
least
didn't know
30
that.
points per
Jesus.
game. Or 29 points per game for that matter. Or 28 points, or 27, or 26, or any point per game average.
And then the
even
shots he
remotely
take.
close to his. To find a player who scored more efficiently than Steph has this season, you have to go all the way down to just 16 points per game from Jared Allen last season. But Jared's a big man whose shots consist of
Rudy Gobert have a
layups.
bigger
What
percentage.
about
He
perimeter
should take more shots.
Guys who take jump shots. Well, there has never, ever been a single perimeter player who had a season with a true shooting percentage as high as Steph's is this season. Not at 30 points per game, not at 20, not at 10, not even at 5. It has never happened. This season, Steph is shooting at a higher percentage than any perimeter player in the history of the NBA while scoring 32 points per game.
I want to say they're doing it with less minutes too, bro.
On the MVP
So you can just imagine if they played more like they used to.
If Steph is
Somebody
10,
just be at
which
like 50
players
points
could
per game, bro.
possibly be putting together a better season than him? Well, one of those players is Jason Tatum, who has led the Celtics to one of their best starts in franchise history. Currently, the Celtics have a net rating of 7.7, which is on pace to being the best net rating the organization has had in its entire existence. This season, Jason Tatum is averaging 31, 7, and 5 a game, which is a stat line that is so absurd that prior to this season, there have only been 3 players in NBA history to achieve it. Those players were Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Kevin Durant.
And it ain't even the best
Putting up
numbers, bro.
all-time
That's
GOAT
crazy.
level numbers.
That's
He
crazy
is
to even think
third
about.
on the MVP ladder because the 2 players ahead of him are on path to completely redefining the standard of an all-time great season. Throughout NBA history, there have only been 3 players to win a league MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. Michael Jordan in 1988, Hakeem Olajuwon in 1994, and Giannis Antetokounmpo in 2020. Of all the accomplishments a player can achieve, this might just be the rarest and most impressive. And Giannis might just do it again this season. Because if his record-breaking 2020 MVP campaign wasn't dominant enough, he's somehow replicating those numbers again this season. Giannis is not only averaging 31, 12, and 5 a game, he's doing it while being the best defensive player in the entire NBA. Giannis is playing like a Shaq-Tim Duncan hybrid right now, and it's just become so normal at this point that no one's even talking about it. And somehow, one player is having an even better season than Giannis is. Last season, en route to winning a second MVP, Nikola Jokic shattered just about every advanced metric. Jokic led the league in win shares, box plus minus, value over replacements, and he set a new all-time record for the highest single-season PER in league history. Now, the old record was one that stood for half a century, when Wilt Chamberlain averaged a modest 50 points and 26 rebounds a game, which earned him a PER of 32.08.
Wilt will get short of luck because he was playing
even the
against
best
bots.
players the league has ever seen could not touch this mark. Not LeBron, not Bird or Shaq, not even Michael Jordan. But Jokic managed to not only break Wilt's record, he shattered it. And this season, Luka Doncic is on pace to beating Jokic's record. At the moment, Luka is averaging 34 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists per game.
That's
so
stupid,
if Jason
bro.
Tatum's stat line was historic, what does that make Luka's stat line? Well, here's a list of every player in the history of the NBA who has averaged at least 34
And I think he averaged 2 steals a game too. Yeah, he's averaging 2 steals a game, I think. Right now,
That's
bro.
it. There's nobody else. Luka is on pace to breaking the NBA record for player efficiency while averaging a damn near 34-point triple-double. And that, ladies and gentlemen, might just be what it takes to win an MVP this season. But what about some of these other players who are having awesome seasons? Well, to put into perspective just how insane you have to be playing right now to even
If Luka don't drop off, like if Luka continue the same pace, bro, it's hard not to give it to him. So if he doesn't drop off, if he don't win it, dog, we ride.
Crack the MVP leaderboard.
I'm gonna get us all Darius Merritt fans.
6 assists and 5 rebounds.
He's playing damn good ball this year.
53% shooting while having one of the highest PERs in NBA history.
He's playing damn good ball.
7th on the MVP leaderboard. Kevin Durant is averaging 37 and 5 a game on career high efficiency. Take a wild guess at where he lands on the MVP leaderboard at the moment.
Probably not even on it.
Nowhere. Durant isn't even on the MVP ladder right now.
That's crazy.
One of the greatest players to ever lace up is in the midst of one of the most productive and efficient seasons of his entire career, and the man can't even crack the MVP leaderboard.
I wouldn't even
Both
give him the
SGA
greatest,
and KD are
one of the
doing
greatest,
amazing
because
things on
this
losing
defense is
teams.
trash.
What about the players who are playing like the league's most valuable player on winning teams? Like Devin Booker. Booker is leading a title-contending team to one of the best records in
We
the
don't mess with
NBA,
Devin Booker over here.
and
He's a menace.
averaging career highs across the board in production and efficiency, putting up 28, 6, and 5 a game. The man was first-team All-NBA last season, and he's playing even better this season. But this season is
Like, I don't think nobody's playing defense though, because these in-game scores are ridiculous.
on the MVP ladder. Oh, but what about Joel Embiid? The beast in the East just put up one of the greatest regular season performances in NBA history. No, really. Embiid's 59-point bomb against the Jazz last week was the 7th best regular season game in league history. Yeah, that guy is 6th on the MVP ladder. 32, 10, and 5 a game, literally prime Shaq numbers. And the man hasn't even cracked the top 5. You've never seen this before, and neither have I. The MVP...
Last time pausing, I said I was going to pause more, but I want to say, like, Joel Embiid is very talented. He's a very talented shooter for a big dude. But I feel like back then, in the Shaq, the David Robinson, the Akeem Olajuwon, and all these legendary big guys era, I don't think he stand a chance, bro. I don't think he get no shots up, bro. The defense in today's NBA is so non-existent. It's crazy to me, bro. Like, even the best defensive team in the league is soft. Right? You wouldn't have never thought the Dallas Mavericks was led the league in defense, like points per game and all the other shit. But we I don't know if we still do it or not, but we did. You know what I'm saying? And we get scored on all the time. We 9-9 with the best defense with Luka doing what he doing right now. You know what I'm saying? That's it. This NBA season is crazy.
Race this season is deeper than
Crazy, bro.
What was once considered
Never
a
seen
historically
before.
great season may not even earn a player any MVP votes at all this season. The standard for what it takes to be the most valuable player
but the season just started too. I think it's like, what, 18 games?
High.
Not even 20 games yet?
All-time season to win the coveted award. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, until next time.
Shout out to Jimmy Holloway. That's a great video. Woo. I love when somebody is informed like that can show stats, man. I might react to more of his videos if it ain't a problem. But let me your boy know in the comment section if you enjoyed the video. I will react to more Jimmy Holloway videos. And this your boy T Nasty, man. Holla at your boy, and I'm out.